Hello, I'm Mary G, and I'm going to talk to you about how to read a book with a small child. I'll give you lots of tips and ideas so that you and your child can get the most out of the story. Reading books to children from birth is a very important part of your child's development. Children learn about the world, about people, animals, feelings, and experiences from the stories they hear. They also learn about reading, books, words, the alphabet and its sounds, sentences, and a whole range of things that will prepare them for literacy learning when they go to school. But most important of all, your child's mind will develop a little bit more every time you read to them. The more stories you read to your child, the more their brain develops. So let's have a look at all the things that you can do with a book when you read to your children. Talk about the book. Before you start reading to your child, share the book together. Talk about the front cover, the back cover, the pictures on it, the name of the author and illustrator. Ask your child questions like, what do you think this story will be about? This will make them think about the name of the book. Look at the pictures and predict what it will be about. Other questions to ask are, where is the name of the book? Where is the name of the person who wrote the book? How do we start reading the story? Where do you think the story is from? How to read a book. When you read the book, talk about reading it from front to back. Then talk about reading each page from the top to the bottom. Your child is watching everything you do and is learning from you about how to actually handle a book to read the story. As you read, point to the words and talk about reading from left to right across the page. Talk about the pictures. As you read the story, stop every now and again to discuss the picture in the book. Point out the characters in the story and have a chat about them. The pictures are there to help children better understand the story. Ask questions such as, who was that in the picture? Can you see the ball the bear was playing with? I wonder if this story is happening in the nighttime or daytime. Sounds, words, and sentences. Reading books to your children gives you the opportunity to begin teaching your children about letters, sounds, words, and sentences. Some ways to do this are to point out the words you're reading and say, I'm reading the words written here. Point out the sentences and say, I am going to read this whole sentence now. Talk about the sounds and the words. Point out words that start with the first letter of your child's name, such as, oh, here is an S in snake, the same as the first sound in your name, Sam. Point out words that are the same. For example, if the word hiccup is used 2 or 3 times in the story, point each one out. Here is the word hiccup. I can see it again. Here it is, and here it is again. Enjoying the story. Discuss the story as you read. Ask your child what has happened so far in the story, what they think will happen next. Ask them if they are enjoying the story. Make them excited about finding out what happens next in the story by saying things like, oh, this is a very exciting story. I wonder what will happen to little bear when his mummy gets home. Let's read more and find out. Talk about the characters in the story. Ask questions such as, well, why do you think Johnny was a naughty boy? Or, did you think the bear in the story were very funny? What was funny about them? When you finish reading the story, talk about it. Ask your child to tell the story back to you. Or go through the book and allow your child to tell you the story based on the pictures. This is pretend reading and is a very, very good way to help develop your child's mind and intelligence. Discuss feelings about the story. When you have finished reading the story, ask your child what they thought about it. Ask what their favorite part was. Ask whether they'd like to hear it and read it again, or would like to share it with a brother or a sister, cousin or friend. There are a lot of things you can now do with your child to get them thinking more about the story and what they learned from. Get your child some paper and pencils and ask them to draw their favorite bit or character from the story. Write what they say about the story underneath and then hang the picture at home. Act out the story together or encourage young children to act it out together. Make a mask of one of the main characters in the story. Make the mask from a cereal box and colored pencils. Give the mask to the child to play with and talk about the character. These are just some of the ways that you can use a book with your child. You will have lots more ideas yourself, and your children will love you reading to them and discussing books. Remember to make reading together fun. This is your time to share and learn together. Read to your small children every day and watch their learning take off.